Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Plain Not Jane. Today I'm doing another quick Cricut Design Space tutorial um, to kind of give you an introduction into a bunch of the different parts in Cricut. Today I'm going to talk to you about three different tools in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the differences between Weld, Attach, and Group. So let's just dive right into it. So let me just add a couple of shapes. You know, I love a good square, but I'll step out a little bit and choose a circle this time. All right, so let's say these two shapes are a part of my design. The biggest difference between Weld, Attach, and Group is how the shapes or pieces are treated on the canvas and how they're treated when you go to print or cut them. I'll be talking primarily about cutting because I don't do a lot of print and cut. I do just mainly cutting and layering with HTV. But let's say I have my square and my circle. If I highlight them both and I choose to weld, which is down here, welding will do just that, weld them together and they'll become one piece. And then when you go to make or cut your file, it'll still be one piece when you go to cut. Now let me just undo that, and I still have those same two shapes, and this time I'm going to attach them. When you attach, what you're doing is putting those two shapes together and they'll actually cut in the selected position. So you can see that there's still two different shapes. You can see here in your layers column, there's still two different shapes. You can see that there are two different shapes on the canvas. But when you go to make the file, you can see that there's still two separate shapes, but they're still in the same position. This works really, really well when you have placed text. If you're doing curved text, or if you just, created a design with text and you've got your letters exactly where you want them and you don't want to go through the trouble of trying to put them back where you wanted them when you cut the file. So Attach will freeze everything where you placed it on your canvas. It'll cut in the same position, and that makes it a lot easier for placement when you put it on your product. And then thirdly, let's go back, still have the same two shapes. To detach them, because you can attach and detach, just click Attach to highlight the file, and then just click Detach down here in the same spot. Now I want to put my circle back on front. I like more of my circles on top of my square. Just, I don't know, it's aesthetically pleasing to me. And then thirdly, we're going to talk about Group, because sometimes you can get Group and Attach confused because they kind of do the same thing. They actually do the same thing on the canvas. I just grouped these two shapes, and just like if I'd attach them, I can click and they move as one single unit. The difference is when I go to make it. So when I click make it, my circle and my square will be separate again. Group is really good when you have a design element that is layered. I'll show you an example. In my previous video where I talked about slicing, I worked with a mermaid, and let me find her again. There she is. There's the girl. This mermaid has quite a few layers to her. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. Now, right now she's grouped. If I were to ungroup her, she still appears the same on my canvas, but when I go to move, I'll wind up clicking just a piece of her and not all of her. So let me go ahead and put those pieces back. So what I would do is keep her grouped so that when I click her to move her, all of her layers move. All of her layers will move. But when I go to make her, they'll be separate on the separate mats, as you can see here. So just to recap, when you choose to weld two pieces, and actually let me correct that, you can weld more than two pieces together. You can weld, I can take my mermaid, put her on top here, highlight all of that, and weld all of those pieces together. I have no idea what you would use this type of conglomerate for, but hey, you can do it. But just to recap, when you weld, you're doing just that. You're welding pieces together and they'll form one piece and one layer. When you attach, you're freezing your pieces or your items or elements in their current position. And so when you make it or cut your file, they'll cut in the same position. And then when you group, to group your items together is to just lock them in so that you can move them around as a single unit on your canvas. But when you go to cut your file, they'll still cut separately. So again, this has been Plain Not Jane with another quick Cricut tutorial. I hope that helps. Make sure that you click the button to subscribe to my channel. And also, if there is another tool you'd like for me to dive into or a technique you would like to see me try with my Cricut, you are more than welcome to leave a comment below, or you can leave a comment on Instagram or even find me on Pinterest. All right, so until next time, be safe. Bye-bye.